Bienvenidos a este nuevo vídeo de Devir TV. Estamos en Essen, dentro del stand de Czech Games, y tengo conmigo a los autores de Kutná Hora, the authors. They are Peter. Hello, Peter.
Hello.
Nice to meet you and having
Nice to
you
meet you.
here. And Ondřej.
Perfect. Hola.
Your pronunciation is excellent.
Yeah. Wow.
I really like it.
I love you guys. We are missing Pavel, the third author. That amazed me a bit because, wow, 3 authors for a game.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a story about how it came about?
Yeah, of course we can. Actually, that's kind of funny because we are living in really different cities. He's on one side of the country, I'm in the middle, and Pavel is on the other side of the country.
Wow.
So we were working almost entire time online through TTS, Tabletop Simulator. And that was our procedure, how to actually design the game.
Okay.
We met several times, of course, but for us, designing the game, have weekly calling and everything was online.
But you knew each other before?
Yeah.
We
Okay.
knew each other, of course. However, this was also during the COVID lockdowns. So at a certain moment, it was not even in our country. It was not even possible to travel. So when we wanted to test and meet in person, there were the weeks in this toughest lockdown, it was not possible to leave your town.
Yeah.
So
I remember.
yeah. So actually, this was in a way surrealistic because during the day, because we all do different jobs. So during the day, we were connected to Zoom calls and doing our daily job. And then in the evenings, we connected to different video conference and we're working on the game.
Yeah,
Oh, great.
that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
So it has been a long process, it seems.
It has been like 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
So-
something like that.
Yeah.
It's quite a long time.
But the truth is that it has been a long time because the game has changed a lot. It has been from the very big. I mean, the thing what we think is important is that we actually started with the topic first. So we had the idea and we wanted to tell the story of the town. Because this town is really, really beautiful. It was really important like a couple of centuries ago. And then we wanted to tell the story. But the game at the beginning, it was not what you see today. Actually, we started like Pavel and me, we started to develop. And then we had the game in certain stage. And we were rather happy about that. We thought it needs some polishing. And that was the time when we approached Petr. And you might not know it, but in our country, Petr is a well-known persona because he is this board game journalist.
Ah, yeah.
So, I mean, he also works as a developer, as a designer, but we actually approached him because we knew him from this online community. And that was like very nice. So we brought like very early version to Petr. And then he was, that's very funny. I mean, in the first move, he kind of broke the game, which made us not very happy, let's say. And then there was a couple of months when we were like working on something, and then we went to Petr, and then Petr said, okay, it's better than previously, but you do this and that and that. And then after several visits, we agreed, okay, I mean, just join us. I mean, let's do it together, which was actually good because that really increased the speed of the development. And then I don't know when we agreed with Sigue to publish the game. Is it like 2 years ago?
Something like that, like 2 years ago, yes.
Yeah. And then there was still like the Sigue had some requests what we should kind of polish in the game. And then in the last year, since 2022, SN, Sigue was really working hard on development together with us. So the whole Sigue team was helping with the development. They played another hundreds of the games, and they helped us to make the game as beautiful as it's today. So it was a long process, but yeah, we are very happy about that.
So you enjoyed breaking the game again and again.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, for sure. It's not a problem at all for me.
No, but you know, this is also like, I mean, for not for Petr, but for us, it is the first game.
Okay.
And then when you start this process, and this is maybe the advice for all the guys who are planning to design the game, brace yourself, it's going to take longer than you think.
Sure.
Because we kind of thought, oh, it's going to be like that. It wasn't. So it really was a long time. And even when a year ago, we just, started with CGE, really this development, we thought, like we are done. I mean, and then we were not. So it takes time.
Cool. Well, you were saying that the story of the town, it was like the main thing that you wanted to tell with the game.
Yes.
What's that story? Because we don't know.
You don't know it. You definitely should. It's a really beautiful city, actually, which I'm really proud in the rule book, which I have over here. There are many historical notes and photos and everything. So if you really need to know about Kutná Hora itself, not just the game, just open the pages and you will easily find these articles about the history of the town, how it looks in these days, and how we are representing everything in our game. As Ondřej said, theme was first, and all mechanisms come second. Sometimes when we struggled and we were thinking how the game should actually work, we called the museum in Kutná Hora. And because it was during the COVID time, they were really bored, nothing to do. They were so happy we are calling them, say, cool. You are making a board game like a Monopoly. I said, kinda. But they were really happy to help us, and we need to give them one copy after the show. So the whole history about the time is really, really amazing, because during 13th, 14th century, they discovered silver there. And shortly after that, the Kutná Hora as a city was built. And right now, it's a really small city. It's just a few people living there. It's a really cozy place. You can be there. There's a really good place for ice cream. I'll tell you that after. Because not many people know about it. I know. So I will share it with you after we shut the camera, because you don't want that many people there.
Yeah.
And but in a history, there was like 20 people living there. I mean, like 20,000 people living there.
20,000.
And 20,000, that was roughly population of London. So it was really big city.
Wow.
And there was a huge competition between Kutná Hora and Prague. They were also battling what's the best city in the Central Europe. And if they will be building cathedral like this one, this is St. Barbara Cathedral, which is the biggest and the most important thing in a Kutná Hora. They were always, it needs to be bigger and more spectacular than anything in Prague. Then there was a real competition between these cities.
Okay.
So we are trying to tell that story. We are trying to give players the experience how the city was actually rapidly built, because it was like nothing there, and few years after that, the whole city was there with every building and everything, like 20 castles little there, and everything is really beautiful city and really rapidly built, because the wealth of the silver that make king rich, and that make the whole citizens rich, and everything is in our game. So what you are basically doing, you are building a mine over here in that part of the map. So you are going down and trying to dig a silver, which give you income, which give you money, which you can spend on building some buildings over here in this part of the plant. You can build some guild buildings like these silver ones. This gives you also another income, because you are producing something. You can produce beer, you can produce even the silver wood as a material for building and so on. And then eventually you will build these gold buildings. These are city buildings like schools, hospitals, churches, and so on. And of course, we will reward you if you will build it historically accurate. There are two possible ways how to achieve that. I mean, you will build it somehow, but then you can check rules if you build it historically accurate and count victory points. Or you can call us and we will visit you at your home to see the city which you built and say, oh, this building was actually in a different place, so we can't give you points for that.
Because Spanish-speaking countries are beautiful, we love to visit, so just give us the call.
Okay. Okay.
No, but
Sounds like a
this
very
is-
good plan.
How this is scored? I mean, as you can see on each building, there are these marks, and these marks represent the neighborhood. And we were really trying to place these neighborhood marks as they are in the real town. So if this building was standing in certain quarter, those marks represent where it really was. So you see there are different colors of them. So if I'm building this one which has blue, I really want to have it next to this one, because like this gives me the points. Having it here next to this one is not really a good idea. I mean, sometimes I might need to build it there for different reasons. However, by doing this, I'm sacrificing the points at the end. So you need to take these decisions. So if you are building it properly, you are making the Peter, Paul and me happy, so you will get the points. No, but it's really, I mean, this history was really important for us. We really wanted to simulate it the way that the city should make sense. And then because I mean, you see here, like for example, this one, this is the furnace, this is like the smeltery operation. And then none of these marks is matching, right? Because this is a town hall, this is a church, and I think this is the school, yes. So like, it's not really, I mean, no one will reward you while building the furnace next to those.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one
wants
this
a
building there.
furnace.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's how the city is built. You actually need several actions to do to build something in a city. It's a process. It's not that easy to do. Which brings us to these cards. This is the heart of the game.
The cars look amazing. I really
Oh,
love
thank
the
you.
art.
Thank you. Do you know Kingdom Come as a PC game?
PC game?
PC game? Are you a PC gamer?
Yeah, but I don't know Kingdom
Kingdom
Come.
Come, that was like
It was a RTS or not?
No, it was not RTS. I think it is this kind of first-person shooter from medieval time. It was actually a rather big game, like several years ago.
From Warm Horse Studio.
Warhorse,
Warhorse.
not warm.
Not Warm. Okay.
No, but
Different
anyway,
word.
I mean, it's another big game. And then the illustrator who was doing the in-game maps for this game actually is the guy behind the.
These illustrations.
Ah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, you have 6 of these cards. During one round, you will play 5 of those. You will not play the last one. But you can still use it in your book if you finish the chapter or something. No, I'm just joking. You will have a purpose for the last card as well. So you are choosing 2 cards during your turn. For example, this one, and then maybe this one, and play it in front of you like this. What you are basically doing is you are choosing some actions to do in your turn. So you choose to do a building action and a plot action.
Plot action.
Yeah, so you will take a plot in a city, like a piece of land, when you will eventually build. So these 2 actions is what you are doing. But what you are also doing, you are saying, okay, this round I will not play this income action and I will not play the second building action. So I will build just 1 time, not 2 times. If I need to build 2 times, I will need to play it this way. So you need to plan your cards accordingly to your plans.
So it's a bit card-driven game?
Yeah, slightly like that. It's basically action selection on cards. So you are choosing this. We actually introduced these cards because we really want to give players a clear focus. What's your actions? So these are my actions. I will play these 2. Now only these 4 cards represent my actions. So I will play another 2. And now I need to choose just 1 card. So let's say I built piece of St. Barbara Cathedral, and that was my turn. That's over. So this is how you actually choose your actions. But what's really important, what you can do with these actions. We already mentioned you can build some mine, and if you will be present here, you will score some points at the end of the game. You will build a city. You already know how works the neighborhood and everything.
Yeah.
But building the city is actually kind of complicated because the first thing what you need to do, you need to go here and acquire a right to actually build something.
Okay.
Because in a history, you cannot go somewhere and build whatever you want to build. You need to be part of a guild. That's the step one. And the step two, you need to have a right to actually build something. So you need to ask the city, I really want to build a sawmill. Can I do it? And the city says, yes, you can, because we don't have many of those. So please do it. City can say even the otherwise. Yeah. So you will acquire this. Later on, you can build it in a plan. What's extremely important in our game, we have a supply and demand system. This is the whole economy system built inside the game. And it's real economy. So if you are kind of economist, or the real economist, I don't know, you will be really happy. This is how it works. Let me introduce you. Okay. We have these counters. We have two of them. This one is for population.
Okay.
So if population is low, not many people living in the city, the prices will be low as well. Because not many people buying these things. Not many people want to buy a beer. Not many people want to buy a ham or wood to build something. So if you will try to build the sawmill, at that moment, you will pay 4 woods, and 1 wood costs 2 coins. So you will pay how many coins?
8.
Hey, correct. So you will pay 8 coins to the bank. However, someone can build a school or a hospital or maybe a church in the city. All these buildings are very important, and if they are in the city, many people will likely be living in that city, which brings population up. What we will do, we will slide this card. Now it's higher population, and as you can see,
Higher cost.
you paying 3 times 4, which is 12. So it's much higher price. You wait too long. Population, there are already too many people in the city, and you need to pay more money to actually do something. But of course, prices going up and sometimes going down because there is a competition for these commodities. If I will have a pub in the city and that would be just one pub for a whole city, I can sell a beer for 6 coins and I can be rich. But maybe Ondras will be thinking, oh, he have a pub and he's selling a beer for 6 coins. That's a lot of coins. I want a pub as well. So he can do it if he is part of the same guild, of course. And if there will be 2 pubs, just 3 coins per beer. Another pub says, okay, it's just 2 coins per beer. And also the city says, we don't want another pub in the city. We have enough of those until there will be much more people living in the city. So that's the economy system. We are pushing prices high and down. It's constantly changing. It's like a wave. You need to surf on it. And also there can happen many things, like the city can stop building, stop you from building something specific because they already have enough of those in the city. There can be the otherwise situation. So there can be so many people in the city living and no one is providing them food, drinks, building materials and so on. So the city itself will build that building.
Okay.
To provide it to the people, that services.
Public building.
It will be a public pub. It can happen.
Sounds good for me.
Yeah.
But actually, you can imagine that was actually very funny. We were doing this pitch of the game like 5 minutes ago, and then one fan was like very quickly recognizing. So, just this works the way. So, this is a demand. So the higher number here, the higher demand. So at this moment it's 0, so the demand is really low. Now it's 8, the demand is really high. And then the sliders represent supply. So the more it goes to the other direction, to the right, the higher the supply. So this is actually what we really wanted to have. And then, so we have supply, you have demand. The same works for the other content.
For us, it was there was one specific reason why to do this, because now we can have 6 commodities in our game. We have a wood, we have a ham, we have a beer, we have a ore, silver, and administration. Thank you. But you will never have any of those as a token in your hand. There are any. So everything what you will do, you will count through money. And you need to buy these things when the price is low, and you want to sell them when the price is high.
Yeah,
Because
it's an economic game.
It's an economic game because you need to buy something to do something, but you're also producing these goods. So at one moment, of course, when the price is high, you need to sell them to actually have some money to continue with the game, build a city, build mines and everything. That's your goal, but you will not win with money. You will win with victory points.
Okay.
Which brings us to another part of the game, which Ondra will explain shortly. May I ask you?
The thing is that, as we already described, there are some buildings connected to guilds. Those are these with the silver background. And then you have some public buildings. As we see, this is a school. Once this comes, it actually brings also this those represent the patrician, important citizens. We call them Stevens because we just like to call them Steven. Yeah. And actually in Czech we call them Stefan.
Yeah,
Okay.
in Czech it's Stefan.
Yeah.
You know why?
Is it an inside joke or something?
Yeah, it's inside joke because I don't remember names. So if
Okay.
you will give me a hand and say, okay, my name is something, I will forget immediately. And then in my head, I will call you Steven. So I call everyone Steven. So if I'm talking about someone, I say, Steven told me something and I already know it's not Steven, it's someone else. But I call everyone Steven because I don't remember name. I don't remember your name already.
I'm Steven.
Yeah, I think so.
So at this moment, actually, it would like that you have the school that brings a red patrician, you have the town hall that brings a red patrician, you have a church, you have the hospital, and then you have the little castle. So those guys are now on the town hall available. So they are there, but they are not really helping you at this very moment. However, while taking income action, you can activate one of these by giving a little bribe. I mean, it is the medieval world when the people are not different than they were at that time, so the bribes were very common. So you pay 10 coins, and you can actually choose one of these to bring him to the town hall to work on the laws that might be favorable for you. This actually represents those laws kind of represent the scoring later. There will be end of the round scoring in last 3 rounds, and then these guys which are in this town hall, they show what will be scored and how many times. So for example, if this guy is there, he is rewarding the players for building the houses from different guilds. If there are 2 of them, it multiplies. Because, like the players will get usually around 60, 70 points at the end of the game. So 3 points doesn't look like much. But what you want to do is to have 2 of them, because then all of a sudden it's 3 times. So it's, 2 times 3. And then you might want to have this condition twice, because then it's already 12 points.
Those Stevens work for
All
everyone?
Yes,
For everyone.
and that's the point, And then this seems a little bit counterintuitive for some players. Some people hate it. I mean, in general, you will love this game if you like A, history, B, economy, C, interactivity. If you want solo masturbation, this is not a game for you. No, there are plenty of different games that will suit your needs perfectly. If you want to be interactive yet serious, then this is a game for you. So, because once I invite or I bribe this guy to the town hall, then Petr has now to think, okay, I will either benefit from this guy, but I'm not really having this condition. But maybe I want to bring this Steven to open the other condition for scoring. And then if you are playing with us, then you need to really think, okay, will I join this scoring layer or that scoring layer? Or maybe I want to activate another one. Maybe I want to participate in this one. So all this scoring is available for all the players around the table, but you are not always in a position to benefit from all. And then this actually is a way how, and this was actually nice. You know what, when I'm thinking about the game, many things that work really nicely were in a way an accident. Because this is actually true, because we used to have end of the turn scoring, but it was given, like in many other games. So we had some end of the turn scoring cards, you shuffled them, you just placed them.
Okay.
And that worked, and it was actually working very nicely. It was good. And then we as the designers were observing the players, and then what we didn't like, that those conditions are open from the very beginning. So based on what the people shuffle and randomly put there, it is influencing the game a lot. We wanted the players to have the opportunity to influence how the game will roll. And I think this works really nicely. It's painful for some players. So if you think this Steven should work just for me, this is not the case, don't buy this game. But if you like interaction, this is the perfect thing. And then this is really, and you don't need to be in all the layers. And sometimes, and this is actually Petr is explaining it nicely. If I'm activating this one, and then Petr is benefiting, and you are not, it's okay, and I should do it, because I might bring this one, you will benefit, I will benefit, but Petr will not.
Yeah.
So that way, you both score, but I score the most. So this is the way how to make it.
I think this is even more thematic, because when you help someone to raise power,
Yes.
it won't help only you. It will help more
Yes.
people, no?
Yes.
Mostly you, but
No, but this is actually the we are not so much talking about this track. This is a reputation track, because in the game, at the end of each turn, there are the taxes that you can decide to pay or not to pay.
taxes.
If you decide not to pay the taxes, I mean, you are losing the reputation, which is, I mean, okay, I mean, you can lose the reputation. It's something that can become painful gradually, but like you are saving the money. However, since this was the medieval war, I mean, when we were reading about that times, there was like a lot of fraud, a lot of bribery. But what then the people did, they stole the money and then they sponsored the church to save, the soul. So you can lose the reputation, but once you build a church, you will gain some reputation back.
Of course.
So, and then this is, so we really wanted to have this feeling, okay, I will be a little bit playing under the table, but then, like I just build a church. And actually it works nicely, because those public buildings, as you can see, they have the most marks. So if I build this hospital here, there are the places around that will actually benefit other players as well. So if I build that, nothing is stopping you from buying this plot and scoring the points from the correct neighborhood.
Yeah, because
So I want to save my soul, therefore I build a church, and you can benefit and get the points by building next to it. So that was the idea. So we really wanted, the same goes for the town hall. So this guy, you have to bribe him to publish the law that is suiting you, but then once the law is out, anybody can benefit from that. So that was the idea. Yeah.
There are also some little details if you are really a historical nerd or something, you really are into a history.
Okay.
So you will see many little details in the game. For example, we try to find how these buildings really look like in 14th century and make the illustration it's just like that in the 14th century, because in these days it can look slightly different because they were rebuilt because they were for example fire, and then they rebuilt the building in slightly different way. For example, roofs can change. Now we are building roofs like this, but in the past it were more like this one, so it was pointy.
This church was a big fight between the illustrator and me, because the earliest depiction of the church we have, I think it's from 15th century, and the church has a gray roof made from the, I don't know, this is this special stone that you can slice for the narrow pieces, and this is like typical coverage for the roofs. And then the illustrator, he was actually also doing his homework. He was discussing with some Kunsthistorics, and then they said, yes, but it's highly probable that it was built with the red roof, because that was a new technology in Europe at the time. And it's possible, so like that was like 2 hours discussion. I still personally believe it should have been gray, but okay, he brought better arguments on the table. So we were really trying to have them looking as realistically as possible.
Or for example, these marks, we mentioned them several times. They are actually stonemason marks used that time to actually mark quality of material. If it's something really good and you want to use it for a church, you will put a mark on it and it will go to the church. So these are real marks. It's not something we made up one moment. There is some kind of history, some piece of history behind it. So.
Okay, awesome. And I know that as a production thing, this material it's like something special as well.
It is. This is a pineapple taste.
I've taken breakfast. Thank you.
Okay. So no, it's tasteless actually. Don't try to swallow it, but it will happen basically nothing if you will do, because it's wood basically, but it's used wood, and it's a new technology because we didn't want a plastic in our game, because it's historical game with everything, the Euro style game. I think players out there expecting wood, not plastic. But if we will go with traditional wood components, it would be really boring houses. And we really wanted to have some details, roof, maybe chimney and so on. And we were trying to find a way how to do it. And then we actually discovered brand new technology, which is in Germany, company from Germany called Rewood. And they are able to do it because it's basically 80% wood, and you put it together and put there like 20% of some organic binder, and then you can use molds similar way to the plastic, but it's still basically wood. And we are really proud of it.
Cool. I really love it.
There are some limitations. For example, you can't have really bright colors because the color is inside the component. It's not outside like if you have a real wood, when you can use whatever color you want to. Here it's not that easy, especially if you really want some bright colors like yellow. That's why we don't have yellow. I'm really sad because I'm usually playing for a yellow, so I don't have it in my own game. That's pity, isn't it? It's Rewood. It's brand new material and we really like it.
And it took a while, and the process was CGE has a very talented 3D artist, so he created all the forms. It was like printed on the 3D printer, different versions, and then the factory was really doing a lot of prototypes. It was not for the first try when they managed to achieve this level of the details. But like once they land, it was really nicely. I mean, it came out really nicely. And I think, I mean, the feel is the feel is good. I mean, I'm actually very happy about that.
I like it
And
very
then,
much.
and then somebody was asking on Board Game Geek, like, if this is really biodegradable. So we really went back to the factory, and they assured us it is the same way biodegradable as the wood. So if for some reason you would bring the elements and leave it at your garden, it would naturally dissolve, maybe not in 1 year, but like in 5-10 years, it would disappear.
Yeah, if you don't like our game, you can dig it in your garden and it will not mess with your tomatoes.
Awesome.
Which is
Maybe I
always
will
good to
try.
know. Yeah. Not many games can do that.
No,
Our can. We will not mess your tomatoes.
Maybe it's smarter to sell it to someone, but yeah.
Yeah, but this can be more funny. Oh, guys, thank you very much. I think it's an amazing game. People has been playing here at Kutná Hora. They tell you something, like you have feedback from players, what they like the most.
You know, people are like to share the good experience. The bad experience we will read on BGG later.
Yeah, as always.
Right now, everything what we hear is strongly positive and make us happy.
Okay.
There was
Really
yesterday one player coming to us, and then he was having some puzzle about the wood, and then he was discussing for 10 minutes passionately that it doesn't make sense. And then we said, yeah, but maybe you should have looked on that from different perspective, because what you did is maybe not best for the strategy you described, but maybe you can play different strategy. He was like, aha, and then he went back. So you need you need to adapt to the game. And as Petr said, I mean, so far the feedback is very good, and then we will see what comes for BGG later.
Okay, it's 1 to 4 players or 2 4 players?
2 to 4.
2
2 to 4.
Yes.
And how long it takes, more or less?
30 minutes per player.
30 minutes per
so
player.
it can be 2 hours with full table.
Okay.
And then this is actually interesting that you ask, because the some people were asking that, okay, is there not this paralyzed by the choice? And actually, this is another funny consequence of these cards. Those cards originally came as a replacement of different mechanic, because the action selection before was driven by positioning the meeples. And then I think it was Petr who came and said, okay, this is too many meeples, we need to replace it with something. And we replaced it with the cards, which does many things very nicely. One of the things which it does very nicely, so you always have only 5 cards to play. So if I play 2 cards, then for another turn, I have only 4 cards to choose from. So I play, and then for the last, only 1. So the selection is like decreasing. So this way, we actually quite naturally see that it's not that this is the last turn of the round, and now I'm sitting for 20 minutes now, because I have like
A or B. Yeah.
4 actions.
Well, 4.
Yeah. So that's actually surprisingly contributes to the flow of the game. And then we are really sure that this 30 minutes is like what we see from the average play.
I think you will not play the game longer than 2 hours. Okay. Even with 4 players, you should be able to finish it in 2 hours. There will not be any fire in your brain, but maybe smoke.
Cool. Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Congratulations for Kutná Hora, and hope we will have a great success here.
Thank you for having us. Thank you very much. Take
Nos vemos en
care.
el próximo video. Adiós.
Adiós.
Thank you.